Wanted to pop in today and share a little video with you guys about something that's been on my mind, something that I desire to just bring up the conversation around body image and mental wellness. So first of all, if you guys are watching me for the first time, please say hello. And if you know me, please say hello too. So just to introduce myself, my name is Martina and I am a curvy self-love guide who's empowering women to find self-love at any size, accept and respect their body, and just come back to their body as they are disrupting diet culture, among a bunch of other things. So, what today we're going to be briefly talking about is how we can connect and what lies within the connection of mental wellness and our body image. So as we get started, you guys, if you guys are watching this on Facebook this morning, once again, I love hearing from anyone who is popping in and just listening to what I have to share. But if you're not on Facebook, I would encourage you to head on over to my YouTube channel, which is in the link is in the link is in the description of the video here today. Or you can just go onto YouTube, type in my first and last name, and you would be able to bring that up there today too. Hello, Cindy Kelly. Good to see you. So as I asked a question this week on Facebook on if you think there is a connection between your body image and your mental wellness. And so really the feedback that I got from the question that I asked really was like an astounding yes, that there is a link between those two things. And so something that I have discovered in my own journey is that really these two things, our body image and our mental wellness, really go hand in hand. So if one is suffering, odds are the other is suffering. So if you are a woman who has hated your body in the past or has body image issues or suffers from either eating disorders or body dysmorphia or any of these things that we talk about in this wellness space of our relationship with food or exercise, odds are those people who suffer with those things really have a hard time with their mental health or mental wellness. Because as you're feeling so crappy about yourself and your body, then odds are you're going to probably feel some anxiety, some sadness, some anger, some depression, like a multitude of things could be happening for you, which also causes stress within the body. And if you don't know, stress on the body plays a really big part in how our bodies feel. So if you are in this constant state of stress, whether it's dealing with, negative thoughts in your mind about your body or life in general, it can be stressful, right? It's really important to value the connection between these two things and how when we support one of these areas, for example, when we start to do some work around body and healing our body image, you'll all of a sudden start to notice that your mental wellness improves as your relationship with your body improves. Vice versa, if you take the importance and make a priority of your mental wellness being important to you and doing things that are going to improve that relationship with yourself by, accepting yourself, respecting yourself, you're going to find your mental health is going to improve and your mental wellness is going to improve. You're going to desire to do these things to take care of yourself because you actually feel good in the skin that you're in, which is so important, right? So our bodies are so much more than just this vessel we inhabit, right? They're like an integral part of our identities. They're a reflection of our values. They're a source of connection to ourselves and to others, right? So for many people, like I've already stated, and that's a really big part of why I do what I do, is that body image is a big part of something that a lot of people suffer with, is having a low body image. So for many people, their relationship with their body is filled with anxiety, guilt, judgment, right? And this can lead to suffering with mental wellness. So why is there such a strong link between body image and mental health? So what I wanted to do today is take a little bit of a closer look on how our thoughts about our bodies have that real consequence on our mental health, and then some really easy ways we can start to take care of this. So First of all, you guys, the negative effects of diet culture are huge with this. So at the root of all of this, the persuasive messaging we receive from society about our size, our shape, our weight, everywhere we turn, we are bombarded with messages that tell us that thinness is desirable and being anything else is unacceptable. Women in particular, especially women, suffer from this kind of relentless focus on beauty standards that can be really impossible to meet or maintain. So the effects of diet culture really take a toll on both our physical health and our mental health, leaving us feel really exhausted, overwhelmed, anxious, depressed, and unworthy. And if you have all of that pressure from diet culture of making you feel that way, there's two things that are going to happen. Your body image and your mental health are going to deteriorate, which is how we get to these points of people turning to having these depressive states or having these big feelings of stress or anxiety or worry or being isolated. Like there's all these things that can happen that is really sad that they are happening, right? So with that being said, one thing that I've discovered that has been huge in my own inner healing and how I am taking charge of my mental wellness and my body image is the power of mindful eating. So one way to break free from that cycle of negative thoughts is practicing mindful eating habits. So mindful eating involves that paying attention to your physical hunger and fullness without judgment or restriction. So, and I know there's been a lot of talk in my social media right now on about restriction and how that affects a person's mental awareness too, right? So with mindful eating, it really encourages you to make peace with food by allowing yourself permission to eat whatever you want without feeling guilty or ashamed afterwards, which is so hard for so many of us. But when you practice mindful eating regularly, it really helps you to develop that sense of, sorry, I've lost my place here. That sense of really a healthier relationship with food, and can help to reduce your feelings of guilt and shame around other food choices. And as you become more in tune with your body, you guys, you really start to realize what fuels your body and what doesn't, or what gives your body energy and those good feelings and what doesn't. Not to say we're never going to have those things, but you have such a heightened level of awareness. And I know with the power of mindful eating, along with other mental wellness products that I have used to support my body, I have found such an increase. And I've said to this a couple times to friends that I've been talking to, is I feel like in this state that I'm currently in, I almost have this hyper awareness of what my body feels like. And it feels really amazing and, sometimes really new for me, right? So as we kind of really go through that unlearning of diet culture and really connecting to our bodies, it encourages us to attune into our own needs. And so we can better recognize that when it's time to nourish our body properly, or give ourselves permission to enjoy something special without guilt or shame afterwards, right? I see Crystal there. Hi, Crystal. So that's one big element in my journey, especially, that I can offer to you as something to help support not only your mental wellness, but your body image, right? Is just unlearning and really creating that peaceful relationship with food. And so secondly is embodying self-compassion. So another important step to really improving your relationship with your body and your body image and your mental health is to learn how to show yourself kindness through like a self-compassion practice. So self-compassion really involves treating yourself as you would treat someone else who was struggling, and treat them with kindness rather than criticism, right? Because we often are our worst critics, and we beat ourselves up internally on a daily basis on saying, I'm not this enough, I'm not that enough, I'm not doing this enough, I'm not, there's all these things that run through our minds daily, right? So research has found that self-compassion practices can really help to improve our feelings of self-worth, as well as reduce those symptoms associated with depression and anxiety. So really just trying to quiet that inner critic and come from a place of kindness and compassion really helps to, help you to become unstuck with those negative thought patterns about our body image, and really try to take time and focus on taking care of yourself in a multifaceted variety of ways, right? And I know that's something I teach within my coaching program as well, is that we can't just focus on one element of our wellness. We really do have to be looking at this like bird's eye view approach of like, okay, where am I struggling? Where am I successful? Where do I feel like complete? And where do I feel like I'm lacking? And kind of looking at that and trying to find, and I know it's hard to find this way of being balanced, but it's really, in the past, I know for me, for example, I would only focus on my physical health. So I was excessively exercising. I was starving my body of nutrients that it was needing to have that mind of like thinness equals worthiness. So for me, I was only focusing on that element. And so when I had gotten to different goals in my journey, I realized that there was still something missing, that I wasn't fixing the inside. I wasn't working on that inner healing that needs to happen so you can have that balanced approach to your life and your living. So, all of these practices and all of these things really help to bring compassion back into the equation, right? So with that being said, our relationship with our bodies is such a huge part of our overall well-being. And we often too easily get caught up in those negative thought patterns. And they can really have those serious consequences on our mental health. So by recognizing the power that diet culture does have over us, and how toxic it is when we engage in those mindful eating practices and we really start to embody that self-compassion piece, we can really begin to cultivate that healthier relationship with ourselves that we've always desired, both mentally and physically. Learning how to really accept and respect our bodies for what they are will really go such a long way towards improving not only our mental wellness, but our overall quality of life. So that is kind of my little soapbox for today, you guys. I just wanted to share with you some of my thoughts on how I do really believe that there is such a profound connection between how our mental health is, or our mental wellness, and how our body image is, and how when we can kind of like beautifully combine the two practices and really focus on healing not only our mental wellness but our body image, that we can create this such a beautiful like synergistic way of being. So with that being said, you guys, one of the elements, actually I'll share two. The first way you can kind of start to learn about some of the things that I talked about today, along with other methods that I teach women, is in my program, The Self-Love Revolution with Martina. And this is where I really it's a lifetime of supportive relationships and community, where we really dive into that acceptance piece of accepting our body, respecting our body by, eating mindfully, moving mindfully, finding these different self-care practices that we can place into our tool belt that's really going to embrace this balanced way of living and being that we desire to be, and to be living with confidence and living with this light inside us that is always going to just be shining so brightly and unapologetically and unconditionally, right? So that program is always open for enrollment. The link to check it out is in the description of the video, so you're welcome to go check that out and connect with me if you have any questions at all. And then lastly, part of my mental wellness recently has been really investing in supplements that really support my mental wellness. So things that have helped to decrease anxiety, decrease stress, increase my overall feelings of happiness. And, some side effects that I've experienced is things like increased mood, increased energy, increased focus. All these awesome things that are really just supporting my mental wellness in a way that I can continue to do this healing of my body and my body image, and taking care of my body in ways that bring me joy, without the shame, the fear, the guilt, which is where we want to live, right? So this has been kind of my secret weapon that I have really felt such an important change within my body. So I have a $10 coupon just for you if you're interested in learning more about that. Once again, pop into my messages if you want to talk about that as well. Okay, so that's all I had for you guys today. I hope this was helpful and just made you really think about the connection between how our mental wellness and our body image are connected, and how we really need to be making both of these things a priority within our journey. So anyway, until next time, you guys, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you soon.